Hello, my name is Elder Price.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, to Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong. My name is Dee Vase, and today is October 20th, 2022, and this is episode 40, where we will be reviewing the Book of Mormon musical in 2011. This review works best if you've seen this musical before, though that is not required, and a spoiler alert. Let me give you a synopsis. The Book of Mormon follows two young missionaries who are sent to Uganda to try to convert Africans to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. One missionary, Elder Price, is an enthusiastic go-getter there on the left with a strong dedication to his faith, while his partner, Elder Cunningham, is socially awkward but well-meaning nerd whose tendency to embroider the truth soon lands him into trouble. Upon their arrival in Africa, Elders Price and Cunningham learned that in a society plagued by AIDS, poverty, and violence, a successful mission may not be as easy as they expected. Now, technically, the Book of Mormon musical is not a movie. It's a full-length Broadway production, so of course each individual show is going to be different. So I'm just going to give you some thoughts about the musical as a whole rather than on one individual performance. Now, this show is a fantastic musical comedy with music, lyrics, and book by Trey Parker, Robert Lopez, and Matt Stone. This is the same folks who brought us the South Park musical, the South Park show cartoon, and also the Orgasmo film. First staged in March of 2011, the Book of Mormon musicals, it took nearly 7 years to get developed. It's a satirical examination of the beliefs practices of the Mormon religion. At first, the LDS Church, they didn't even respond to the musical, but eventually they purchased advertising space in the playbill in the later runs. Now, the Book of Mormon musical ranks sixth in gross earnings all time in Broadway shows, even though it's competing against other productions that have been around for much longer. It's earned almost $600 million in ticket sales to date, and the show is still touring. Think about the difference between $600 million and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints' most successful film, which is Meet the Mormons on the top of this list, which only had $6 million in earnings. We're talking about 100 to 1 difference. The highest grossing Mormon films of all time that you see here, if you add them all together and combine them, they don't even get close to the Book of Mormon musical. So there's more people who have watched and are familiar with the Book of Mormon musical than every other church-related film combined. It is truly the giant in the room. Now, this Book of Mormon musical, it garnered overwhelmingly positive critical reviews and set records in ticket sales. And the show garnered 12 Tony nominations and eventually earned 9 Tony Awards, including the Best Musical in 2011 and a Grammy Award for Best Musical Theater Album. I mean, it's just positive. The positive reviews are overwhelming. Now, in my opinion, there are several reasons for the show's success. First, Stone and Parker did not gear this musical to active LDS Church members. In fact, quite the opposite. They wanted this musical to go mainstream, global, and they definitely achieved their goal. In fact, many or even most members of the church have stayed away from watching it. Second, on a fundamental level, most people are really not interested in learning what Mormons believe. They can easily find that out with Google these days. Instead, people much prefer to share in the mocking of potentially strange LDS customs. So the Book of Mormon musical, it really capitalizes on those desires with biting satire. The romantic subplot between the African villager Nabulungi and Elder Cunningham, it really works. It is so much better, for instance, than the romantic subplot from God's Army. In fact, the Book of Mormon musical is the only Mormon missionary-centered show that challenges Richard Dutcher's 2000 film God's Army for supremacy in sharing an authentic life as a missionary. Now, I want to share one quick scene here, which shows the example of the satire that you're going to see when Elder Cunningham tells one of his tall tales.
Hello, would you like to change religions? I have a free book written by Jesus.
No, Elder Cunningham, that's not how we do it. You're making things up again. Just stick to the approved dialogue. Elders, go ahead.
That's funny stuff there. It never gets old. Now, I found this interview of the showrunners who went on to the David Letterman show back in March of 2011, and they were plugging the Book of Mormon musical that was about to premiere. And at that time, nobody had heard of it. So this is a nice little walk back into history.
Our next guests are the creators of South Park, and now, look at this. They have authored a Broadway musical entitled The Book of Mormon. It opens March 24th at the Eugene O'Neill Theater. Please welcome Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
I really want to do a musical about Joseph Smith. And we're like, oh, we love that stuff.
Yeah.
And so it ended up becoming much more than just about Joseph Smith, but we've been working on it for 7 years.
7 years. So when people go there, it's got to be funny, right?
Yeah, well, it's hopefully funnier than the real Book of Mormon,
That's where
I figure they,
well, you got your work cut out for you.
yeah, that's all. We just had to get it funnier than the Book of Mormon itself.
I
So we
see.
knew we were.
So, but now, will Mormons go there and enjoy it as well?
Probably not.
at the first preview, afterwards we had a little party, and there were a couple of Mormons came up to me who were at the show.
Yeah.
And, you know, they walked up and said, you know, I'm a Mormon, I was at your show. And so my first was like, you
Yeah.
know, and they said, no, they really, they loved it. And actually we just got a review of sorts in the Salt Lake paper that said it was sweet.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the music here. I am a tough music critic. I've conducted quite a few musicals at the semi-professional level. The music in the Book of Mormon musical, it really shimmers. It absolutely shines. The tunes have a staying power. There is a special excitement to this production. There's also humor in Hello and in 2x2. And the gay missionaries in Turn It Off, it never gets old. And the inspiration from I Believe, which is what we're watching here, it makes me want to believe right along with Elder Price. This is a musical that I can go back to see every year, and it gets better every time. It really stays fresh. Now, of course, this musical is a satire, but for me and most faithful Latter-day Saints, it goes too far a couple of times. The musical shows elders in their apartments wearing nothing but LDS underclothes, also known as garments. That's not only disrespectful, it's just not accurate. That just didn't happen in my day, and it doesn't happen today either. I love good satire as much as the next person. If you watch this channel, you'll know that. But I find no humor in satirizing something that is not accurate and which many people hold sacred. Well, I don't get the joke. And one more note is that Nabulungi and the villagers, they perform a pageant for the mission president in Act 2. The production I saw was just gross, with men wearing strap-on phalluses and women slinging human excrement. I don't know who finds that funny, but I don't. So, my concluding thoughts, I absolutely love the Book of Mormon musical. I would love to take my family to it, but because of some of the previous issues and some issues with swearing, it's kind of hard to bring young children to it, which is why we've never really gone to see it as a family. Now, if you don't mind the edgy and South Park style of over-the-top satire, you're really going to like this musical. So drop me an email to mormonmoviereviews@gmail.com. Thanks so much for helping me to review this film. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And join us next time for another episode of the Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong, in which we will review another South Park-inspired film, which was brought to us by Trey Parker, Orgasmo. So long.